Hey guys, Excelper here, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to do a quick guide on the economy of Valorant. We've had a few running jokes on my stream that I'm very fond of saying eco, eco, eco all the time, so I wanted to dig a little deeper into the economy to give you a broader perspective as to why. Short of killing enemies, economy is one of the most important aspects in Valorant. Now, as you may already know, there are 4 ways to earn money in Valorant. The first is planning the spike, which gives you and your entire team 300 credits each for a total of 1500 credits. Keep in mind that this can be done after the round is won as well, so try to always get the spike plan even if you killed all the opponents. The second is by winning a round, which gives everyone 3000 credits. The third way is by losing a round. Riot implemented a loss bonus similar to Counter-Strike, where you will get 1900 credits for the first round you lose, 2400 credits for the second round, and 2900 credits for the third. Keep in mind that if you lose 3 rounds, win one of them, and then lose again, you will start at the 1900 credit loss bonus. The fourth way is by killing an opponent, which grants you 200 credits. Now, there is something we need to discuss here. One of the most common misconceptions in Valorant is that a given player's credits are their own. People have come to Valorant from a variety of different games, so it's understandable that some players think like this. However, when playing Valorant, you should adopt the mindset that it's the team's money and not the players. This is a team game, and if one player buys the operator while the rest of the team uses a classic pistol, that will more than likely cost your team 4500 credit and give the opposing team an op for the next round. This might actually be the closest you come to feeding in Valorant, so please share your money, guys. Now, let's take a look at what weapons you should buy. The first and 13th round of a match is known as the pistol round. This is where all players on both teams start with 800 credits each. In this round, you should aim to spend all your credits because winning it is extremely important. Now, let's take a look at some viable purchases in the pistol round. The 2 most common buys are either to buy a ghost for 500 credits and abilities for 300, or to buy a light shield for 400 credits and abilities for 400 credits. You also have a range of variety based on player preference, where some will buy a Frenzy for 400 credits and Light Shield or abilities for remaining 400, or some will even go as far as to buy a Sheriff for all 800 credits straight away. The latter is really only an option if you're extremely good with the Sheriff, and it actually might be viable with Reyna since she can overheal if you get an early kill. Now, why is winning the pistol round so important? Let's say your team is playing the defending side and won the pistol round with 2 players remaining. This means the opposing team now has 1900 times 5 for the loss bonus and 200 times 3 for the kills. This equals 10,100 credits in total, while your team has 16,000 credits. If you got the spike plant, you can add another 1500 credits on top of that, for a total of 17,500 credits. This leads to a huge advantage for your team, forcing the other team to eco, and it will usually result in winning the next round as well. Before we move on, I would like to explain a few concepts. There are 4 different ways to buy in Valorant. You have the full buy, light buy, eco, and force buy. A typical full buy will cost you around 4,500 credits. This is where you buy a Vandal or Phantom, heavy shields, and stack up on all abilities. The minimum full buy is 3,900 for just a weapon and heavy shield. And if you go for the operator, a full buy will usually cost you around 6,100 credits. When you do a full buy, you should expect to win the round. If only 2 other players can afford a full buy, you're better off with a light buy because it'll be easier for the opposing team to win. Light buy is when your team has some money but not enough to full buy. When your team does a light buy, you want to make sure that you have at least 3,900 credits for the next round so your entire team can do a full buy. When you're light buy, it's common to buy an SMG or Marshal paired with a light shield. If one of the team members have a lot of money, they could also buy a weapon for someone else, as long as they have enough to full buy the next round, and this is extremely important. Also, remember, it's the team's money, not yours. A light buy can also consist of pistols plus light shields, but more often than not, you'll be better off with doing a full eco in that case. A full eco is when your entire team doesn't buy anything. You should expect to lose a full eco, and your main goal will be to kill as many enemy players as possible, and plant a spike if you're playing the attacking side for that sweet 1500 credits. Even though you don't get that many credits from killing opponents, you will still force that player to buy a new set of guns and shields for the next round, which in turn will affect the opposing team's economy and eventually make them do an eco or light buy down the road. The final category is force buying. This usually only happens when you're about to lose a match or if it's the last round of the half. When you force buy, you buy as much equipment as you can with no regard for the next round. I'm trying not to sound like a broken record at this point, but remember, it is the team's money. When you're forcing, you'll be better off with 2 SMGs in your team rather than a Vandal and a Classic. For the second round, you will do a full eco if you lost, or force if you won. Winning the pistol round forces the opposing team to do a full eco, so you should capitalize on this and get a free win by forcing. On the third round, you'll full buy if you lost the first 2. However, if you won the first 2 rounds, it gets a bit tricky. At this point, the opposing team will have a full buy, and if all members on your team just keeps their SMGs from the second round, you are at a disadvantage. I would recommend that 2 to 3 members of your team goes with a Vandal or Phantom at this point. If you did have casualties during the second round, this usually evens out nicely, but if you didn't, I would recommend that you drop some of your SMGs to make sure you still got a good chance of winning this round. If a player gets to spend no money during the third round, that player can even buy an AWP for the fourth round, putting your team at an even greater advantage. Now that we've gone through the main concepts of Valorant economy, let me give you a few tips. If you check your buy screen, you can see how much money you'll have for the next round. This is super helpful when it comes to planning and will let you know exactly what to get during a light buy. Second, if you check the scoreboard, you can actually see how much money the opposing team had at the start of the round. This gives you a good idea of what they'll buy, so remember to always check the scoreboard. Finally, if your heavy shield is above 30, don't spend 1000 credits on a new one. It's not set in stone of course, but it's a general rule of thumb I follow when I play. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can also find me live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Sunday from 1900 CST. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations as to what my next video should be, just post it in the comment section below. Video editing is also still pretty new to me, so if you have any tips regarding what I can do better for future videos, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and to all the race mains out there, stay blasting.